Hey everybody, welcome to part 20, or 20, Jesus Christ, 7 of, Devil May Cry. I wish I was on part 20 already. Devil May Cry 2013, Devil May Cry 5, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we're back in the middle of the action. Sorry that the video ended the way that the previous video ended the way that it did. I was rambling and I didn't keep an eye on my time. Like I said, more or less, I think towards the end of the playthrough, it pretty much stops ending off in the middle of something. Because I noticed the way that I was breaking it down, I was just like, oh, that's fucking annoying. I was like, I hate that shit. It's like, it's going to fuck up everything about the commentary, so I just pretty much stopped doing that. But it was already a little too late, once I, because I only had 3 more, raw footages to edit, more or less. And it wound up being the final boss fights, such. So it was just like, well, let's get that done. By the way, there is not a boss rush in this game. I think I may have mentioned this, but there's no boss rush in this game whatsoever. Now that red thing on his back, which I don't wind up showing off here, but we'll see it later, is you could actually pull him down and, do more damage to him. But me, I wind up doing it the stupid way.
Dante, it's chaos out here, but I found a way out.
Where?
Up there. I marked it.
Anyway, if you do remember and do recall, this was the end of the level. And we're pretty much heading to the fertility factory, or virility. Fertility or virility? Soda. So we pretty much know who's going to be there, and etc., etc. So I pretty much won't, ruin it. There's just a level in between. Well, yeah, I think there's a level in between that, and then that's it. And then it'll get to that. I mean, in all honesty, getting to, the actual bosses is pretty short, and we don't really have that many bosses. I think there's only a handful of what? Let me see, the boss in the beginning, the secret ingredient boss, if you remember from the demo, one other boss that they show a lot during the trailer, Mundus himself, and then another, another boss, and then another boss. But it's pretty much, we don't have that many bosses in this game. Which is actually, let me see, Agni and Rudra, Cerberus, Neven, the Shadow thing, the Horse thing, Beowulf. Well, yeah, we had a shitload in Devil May Cry 3. We had the Worm, Jester, Virgil. I mean, we had a shitload in all the other games. And in this game, it's kind of underwhelming.
This is Bob Barbas, just doing God's work.
No, you shut up, Bob Barker. I mean, what? I mean, he's obviously they made a play on someone, an actual real life political news figure, not Bob Barker. Would it be Bob Barker? Who the hell is Bob Barker? See, that tells you how much I pay attention to that shit. I really just don't give a fuck, though. I mean, they're not putting any more money in my pocket. They're obviously taking it with taxes and all that shit, but fuck taxes. I eventually do plan on getting to a Final Fantasy, but I'm wondering if I'm going to do it with someone, maybe Magnus. If not, we can probably get a Final Fantasy done this weekend, something like that, because I'm actually going to be, that's what I posted on the channel, with the feed thing, is that I'm off, I have all weekend to do stuff. I took a weekend off work, just because, more or less is play catch up and actually do, a good portion of a playthrough that hasn't been done quite yet. So I'll pretty much get the plans for those and start on that. And I still have to do Final Fantasy 1 and finish up Silent Hill 2, which I haven't done since like September. Because that shit's been sitting there for fucking forever. And I need to get that stuff up eventually. But I won't be uploading that until I'm actually done with the whole playthrough. As long as everything fucking works out the same. But every time I would fucking try to record it, it would always be like, no, you didn't record that, or no, it didn't happen, or file error, or some shit like that, and I'm like, oh. Oh, it's virility. They're drinking the shit out of that soda. She still has a weird face. She's cute, sorta, but she still has a weird face.
If you're told something's true often enough, you tend to believe it.
And it never explained the tattoos.
Told me I was crazy for seeing demons.
By the way, just spoiler alert, they never explain that. I mean, they get a little bit into her story, but that's it. I'm sorry to burst your guys' bubble, but they really don't talk much about her, more or less. I guess the story is really not revolving around her. But for some reason, I thought it did for the longest time, but it doesn't.
You?
When the people you're supposed to trust most turn out to be demon scum.
Wait a minute. Is this gonna be that one picture
Open up to evil
or that one image where I was sitting there dying? Somebody posted an image up on my Facebook about it, and I was fucking dying.
So I chose my path and I lived by it.
Naked bitches.
And after all that anger, violence,
Fighting
and death,
motherfuckers. Oh, you punched the shit out of that dude. I didn't even realize that. That right there. Okay, somebody posted a picture of him doing that, and then Dante was like stabbed with a sword, and you know, like how he gets impaled with the sword, right? And he's like, "Quit crying, you emo bitch," or something like that. I was fucking dying. I was like, "Ah, that's funny." And I probably just talked through the entire thing. It wasn't important. It was just hilarious. Try to find that image. That shit's hilarious. It's just funny to look at.
The succubus is hidden deep inside the factory, but there is no physical way to reach it from our world. Only from limbo. There's a rift inside.
She's like a limbo expert. How low can you go? Wait a minute. They just walked in the staff-only door. Nobody said anything. There were no security cameras. I mean, seriously? It was totally not guarded. For people that seem to, for the, a society that wants to control a lot of things, that apparently was, I mean, I guess that's how they're supposed to get in. It's a video game part. Why are you talking about it? It's irrelevant. But still, I mean, wouldn't they have had some resistance trying to get in? They just strolled their asses in there.
It was triggered by extreme psychosomatic trauma. To nightmares.
what are the nightmares?
It's in the past now.
So that means none of your damn business, dude, that I just met. But anyway, this is one of those slow parts where you're pretty much you're stuck walking. You have no choice, and which is weird because there's certain parts in the game where it does that, and it's just like,
This is where they store the
why?
merchandise ready for export.
Why are you making me do this?
It's funny.
What is?
I expected it to be bigger. A lot bigger. But then, I was just a child when I was here, and I was in limbo,
What are you doing here?
escaping my nightmares.
Here's my question: was she drinking the shit out of fertility? She looks practically like nothing but skin and bones.
Yes.
Don't be fooled, fellas. She's wearing a push-up bra. Think she's busty? Nah, man. She got that bootleg ass run.
Once you're in limbo, all you have to do is retrace your steps back to the mixing room.
Should be
She's
easy
jogging
enough.
it out.
Maybe, but the demons may sense you once you're in limbo, so stay alert.
And once I've reached the mixing room,
You'll be
I have
able
to say, though,
descend
about
deep down
the,
into factory.
What do you call it?
only a succubus.
The motion capturing for this game? Top notch. The movements actually seem realistic.
Okay, it's here.
Within normal means anyway of, slashing a sword, shooting your gun, her bending over, stuff like
All
that.
right, see you on the other side.
All that stuff seems pretty good. One thing I miss about this game that we won't ever get into is the Castlevania, the classic Devil May Cry feel where castle, big castle, puzzles, let's go, that whole thing. It's gone, I kind of miss
Head back
that.
to the mixing room. I'll meet you
And I'm gonna tell you right now, spoiler alert, there more than likely will be a sequel,
Stupidity.
but we'll get into that, and
Tranquility.
I'll tell you my speculations on what the sequel could very well possibly be, or what I would think it would be. Then again, This game was totally not what I expected. The next game could be something completely different. But anyway, you see all these subliminal messages. Poison, obesity, fat people, America. You know. Because all we do is drink soda, right? That's what you guys do? Drink soda? You know, getting obese. America's the most obese country in the world. Which is really weird considering that we always have all these really, really skinny bitches.
Took you so long.
And again, I guess it's one extremity or the other, I guess. Ugh. Get him. Thank you. No. The one thing I hate about that weapon, the Arbiter, is that it doesn't have the upward shockwave thing, I guess, if that makes sense, where it's not high enough to reach those small-ass dudes, and they're just above it, which fucking annoys the living piss out of me. I'm just like, god damn it, I just wasted time trying to go for this one move. Here's one of the parts where they'll trick you up. And you pretty much have to, yeah, there you go. That's what you do. But, self-explanatory. Now here comes the demonic weapon only variant of the Frost thing. The Frost Knight. Yeah, it's the Hell Knight. So you pretty much take this one out.
Me to the mixing room?
Yeah, and I pretty much, I tried to get through it. Now he has this little special attack that if he, you know, puts a sword in the ground, he's pretty much invulnerable. So you're pretty much stuck having to avoid or fight any other enemies like that, you know, something like that. But it's, I don't know. Again, really not much to say about this game. Oh, there's a key over there. I think I may get. I'm not sure if I get it or not. I think I do. I see it and I'm like, I want it. Like I said, I wasn't trying to go out of my way to get a lot of shit in this game. But I really wanted to go for stuff that was, you know, plainly just right there, just to show you how to get it. I mean, if I didn't, I mean, I'm obviously not going to get everything. So there's definitely other guides on YouTube that I would suggest that you look at if you're trying to complete this game 100%. But I'm just advising you now that it's impossible to get done on your first playthrough unless you feel like going back all the way through the other levels. You know, at a certain point in the game when you have all your weapons and all your abilities and stuff like that, and then going all the way back to the beginning of the level, and then going all the way through it again. Which, by the way, would make for a very, very excruciatingly boring time, in my opinion. Now, I wonder if I show it off here. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, God. I mean, we're pretty much fighting the same enemies. When it comes to a lot of the enemies, they're all kind of the same. I mean, we're pretty much fighting one type of enemy, and that's it. But I mean, on harder difficulties, they remix the same enemies, but I believe we fought every enemy that you can see in this game, more or less. And I know as soon as I'm done with this part, I'm probably going to make me like a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich and eat the shit out of it. That actually sounds really good right now. For some reason, I'm just having this urge for peanut butter. But, one thing I noticed about this game is that it's pretty, it's not barren. I mean, there's actually a lot of shit going on. That makes sense. But in some sort of way, it still doesn't seem like it's enough. Like, they could have done more. I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just being really picky and stupid. But I think they could have done a lot more with this game. You know, I mean, as of this point so far, you know, we could have, you know, they could have actually had us interact with the city a bit more. You know, because pretty much all city interactions are pretty much done. I mean, that level was pretty much it, if that makes sense. We're pretty much already at our destinations. We're not traveling to our destinations. It doesn't feel like Devil May Cry, you know, where you're pretty much going towards your objectives. You're in one place, you're traveling the city, but I guess it's a city and it's fucking huge, and they wanted to get rid of all that together. No backtracking, no Metroidvania or Castlevania or Metroid-esque, whatever you're familiar with of the terminology of backtracking. I mean, they pretty much cut that out. It's a straight action game now, you know. Puzzle elements are pretty much non-existent. I mean, there really aren't any puzzle elements. The closest thing you get is to that one stage I was telling you about where they're pretty much having, it's fetch quest. That's it. And then there's one puzzle. Which in all actuality, I'm ashamed that it took me so long to figure it out. Because I swear, I had the solution figured out once I was thinking about it, and then when I actually did it, it fucking took me forever to do. But that's like part 18, 19. Well, no, I think it's a little further than that, like maybe 20, 21. Well, one thing I have to say about this game just looks really good. I mean, I can't say that enough. Like, obviously, these guys, Team Ninja Theory, and obviously Capcom, they get their praises for this game. You know, it was not what I expected whatsoever. It really wasn't. I mean, getting to this actual playthrough, like, I was so nervous when I pre-ordered the game, and, I was pretty much, biting my fucking nails on, how this game would turn out, and, I mean, I'm not even the people that made the game, I was just nervous as all hell, and it was just like, man, am I gonna sit here and do this commentary, do this playthrough, and then not fucking like it? I mean, that's the whole mentality, I guess. I mean, that's the chance you take of doing a playthrough blind, more or less, and in all honesty, I might stop doing that for a while, because in all actuality, there's not really many new games that I want to get. Like Dead Space 3, I want to get that. Hitman Absolution, I will eventually get that, but it's just whenever, stuff dies down, and I pretty much figure out what next set of playthroughs that I would like to do. I mean, I had an update video saying what I would like to do, but some of those things are going to take a while, so I need to have other playthroughs up, more or less, as to what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I could be uploading Metroid Prime right now as we speak, but I'm not going to. Because it's pretty much this, this playthrough. Okay, this is the shit that was fucking pissing me off. Now, you see this shit, right? Where you pretty much have to fight both variants of them. Ooh. Okay. See, I did not want to use that gold orb right there, and I showed you that I still had one. But, I'm probably going to wind up using it anyway, because for some reason I have this distinct feeling I'm going to die here. But, shit like this. This is what I was talking about earlier, where they pretty much force you to use one weapon on one guy and then on the other. Obviously, killing the red one would be a lot faster. That's my advice to you. Kill the red one first. Don't bother going... The blue one will probably take the longest to kill, because your weapons are much weaker. And, by the way, I did no damage to him whatsoever. Now, the funny thing is, I think I showed off here. Yeah. Now look down, and he's gone. And you'll get points for it once he dies, eventually. Yeah, he died. So you can knock enemies off cliffs and stuff. So if you feel like with those enemies, yeah, knock those bitches off cliffs. But, the amount of cliffs that we'll be dealing with those guys in that situation is really, really non-existent. And I don't know why I tried to shoot that, but oh well. Stuff that I know now, stuff that I should have known before. And actually, as a matter of fact, they even tell you that you have to melee those. But I was just like, there's got to be some exceptions to that, right? I mean, I assume that you can probably get everything in one playthrough, like in Devil May Cry. The old Devil May Cry, you can practically get everything in one playthrough. It would just take long as, it'd take fucking forever to do it. But it's possible. You can get everything done in one playthrough. More or less, as far as I remember doing, anyway. Oh, this part's just about over, too. Man, this is when I start getting a little creative with the editing. More or less, so. There's just certain parts that I was nitpicking about. See, now this is what I like. When they throw a... See, I wouldn't mind if they threw a shitload more of these guys at me. I mean, I guess, you gotta have some fucking variety, and to make the combat a little difficult. But in all actuality, the combat's not that bad. The combat's not difficult whatsoever. I mean, the lack of a reticle, like, I'll say that again. I swear, I keep saying the same things. But I mean, there's really not much else to say about the combat. I mean, the combat's good. Well, I don't know. Sometimes where I swear I would be going for one enemy, I wouldn't be. And apparently, if you press the left stick, it changes your target. But who would think to press that while you're fighting? I mean, this isn't Call of Duty or anything, you know, where the left stick is actually crucial for sprinting or anything like that. But I don't know. I digress. But, see, now they're forcing you to fight those enemies again. Remember, I said go for the red one, but the blue one was already in my sights. And he's practically locked onto the blue one already. Funny thing is, if you... See, I changed it, but I swear I didn't press the left stick. You know, it's pretty much whatever you want. You know, I think it's either pressing the left stick or looking in their direction and hitting. That's pretty much how you change your targets. But anyway, everybody, I will see you guys in the next part. So until then.